Hello, thank you for checking out A1 Math, and today we're looking at constructing a geometric sequence given two terms. So let's begin. All right, so here what I want to do is break down a geometric sequence. Okay, over here you see the list of terms here: first term, second term, third term, fourth term, ace of one, ace of two, ace of three. All right, ace of one is just the first term, but ace of two is the first term times the common ratio. Ace of three is the first term times two ratios. Ace of four is the first term times three ratios. Okay, notice how it's one less R for whatever number term it is. So at ace of one, there's 0 R's. At ace of two, there's 1. Ace of three, there's 2. At ace of four, there's 3 R's. Okay, it's one less. So over here with numbers, you can see it as an exponent because R times R would be R squared. R times R times R would be R cubed. So you can write it as ratios. Write them as exponents. So the first term is the ratio raised to 0 so that you get 1, so you get the same first term. And then next, we'll have 1. And then 2 R's, and 3 R's, and so on. So that's why the formula has this n minus R. Whatever number term it is, minus 1, you raise it to that exponent. So that's how we get the explicit rule, and you multiply that times the first term. So we're going to take a look at that. We're going to keep that in mind when we solve these problems here. So here, they give us the fifth term of the sequence, and they give us the sixth term. So the fifth term is 5, and the sixth term is 2.5. So in order to write the explicit rule, remember, you need two things. One, you need the first term, and two, you need the common ratio. So the first thing we're going to do is find the common ratio, and we're going to use algebra to do it. So I'm going to write out what the fifth term is, and don't let this confuse you, but I'm going to use subscript notation. So instead of having f of n, I'm going to have ace of n. And instead of having f of 1, I'm going to have ace of 1. But everything else remains the same. All right, so I'm going to come over here and write the fifth term. So it's going to be ace of 5, and say what it equals. It equals 5. And then ace of 6, and say what it equals. It equals 2.5. Okay, now what I want to do is set up a equation with your ratio already in the equation. I want to set these two things equal to each other. Okay, well, how can ace of 5 equal ace of 6? Matter of fact, I'll write that backwards. How can ace of 6 equal ace of 5? They don't equal like that. But if I add another R to it, because I need to multiply by R in order to get that to be ace of 6, then they're equal. Now that they're equal, if I can fill in everything but the R, I can solve for it. So ace of 6 is 2.5. And ace of 5 is 5. And multiply by R. Okay, and now what I want to do is divide by 5 to get the R by itself. Just regular equations here. And R is going to equal 0.5 or 0.5. Okay, so I'm halfway to having what I need to write the formula. I have the common ratio. Now I'm going to use algebra to find the first term because we don't know what it is. We know the fifth and the sixth, but we don't know the first. Okay, and you could just divide it, go all the way down, but we're going to use algebra to solve this. Okay, so I'm going to start off with this formula. A sub n is equal to a sub 1 times r raised to the n minus 1. Same formula. And because we know everything here, well, we could plug in something for every component here except for a sub 1, the first term. So you can either use a sub 5 or a sub 6 to plug in, but I'm going to pick a sub 5. So since I'm picking a sub 5, that's going to be 5 for that first term. All right, it's going to be equal to a sub 1, that first term. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to find out what it is. Times my common ratio. My common ratio is 0.5. And I'm going to raise it to n minus 1. So since I'm on the fifth term, I'm going to put in 5 minus 1. So this 5 came from the fact that a sub 5. I could have wrote a to the fifth here, but I just went ahead and put 5 because that's what a sub 5 is, 5. This number came from the fact that we know what the r is, 0.5. And this 5 came from we're working with the fifth term. So now I'm just going to solve like this is x here, and I don't know what it is. So I have 5 minus 1. And that's going to get me 0.5 raised to the fourth. And now I'm going to have 5 is equal to a sub 1 times 0.5 raised to the fourth, which is 0.0625. And then finally, I'm just going to divide to get this a sub 1 by itself, but divide by 0.0625 on both sides. And that's going to get me 80. So a sub 1 is equal to 80. So now I have my first term, and I have my common ratio. So now I can write my equation or my explicit rule. So a sub n is equal to my first term, 80, times the common ratio, which is 0.5, all right, raised to n minus 1. So that's the rule to figure out whatever term I want to find. So just to recap, first thing you want to do is write your terms here, whichever two they give you, and make an equation where they're equal. Sometimes it's just one r because it's one away from it. It might be 2 r's, it might be 3 r's, and you can write it as r cubed if you like. Matter of fact, that's what you'll need to do, write it as r squared or r cubed so you can solve it. So I'll show you one of those in another video, but for now, thank you for checking out A1 Math. Have a nice day.